Welcome to Sabrina of 7 Wishes blog, how to make your very own Christmas box. Hello everyone, I'm Sabrina from 7 Wishes blog, and today I'm bringing you a very special video, a Christmas related video, and I'm hoping that you're going to be able to make something with me. This is my how to make your very own Christmas box. Now when I say Christmas box, the possibilities are endless. You could use it as a box to put presents in to gift to a loved one on Christmas Day. Or you could use it in your own family instead of a stocking. You could use it as a Christmas Eve box. You could have a video, a game, a snack. There are so many things that you could use this box for, and I'm going to outline some of those during my video, and then I'm going to put the rest of the ideas that I have on the blog for you guys to look at. I really wanted to bring this box to you guys in November because then it gives you plenty of time to either make one or gather the bits in order to make one in time for Christmas. It isn't that far away now, but there is time to do one of these. It takes approximately an hour to do one box, providing you have everything you need, and the rest of this video will outline exactly how you do it. Thank you very much for watching. So how do we start by making our own Christmas boxes? Well, first of all, it might sound simple, but you're gonna need a box. These are ones that I've picked up from work. They are hinged boxes, so I've made the job a little bit more difficult for myself than I anticipated. As you can see, the hinge is here at the back, but it's quite deep, really ideal for packing with lovely things for Christmas. So you can do it like this, and I will be showing you exactly how I managed to do the hinge box. But if you want to make it easier for yourself, get a box with a pull off and pull on lid. That way you'll only be cutting to one side with a slight hangover, and then you will simply tuck inside and stick on the inside of the box. That's far easier than what I'm going to do now, but if you can follow my instructions, then you'll have absolutely no problem. So there's our box. What else do we need before we begin? We definitely need some wrapping paper. Not some really good expensive stuff, because if you make any mistakes then obviously it's a bit of a waste. Although if you do have any cut-offs, I will be showing you how to use those later on in the video. So this paper was an absolute bargain, 90p for 12 metres. And that was from my local Primark. So thank you, Primark. I know you've got some wonderful wrapping paper in this year, and this is just one of them. This is a tree, bow and snowflake design, and I thought it was perfect. I associate red with Christmas, and that's why I thought I'd wear my onesie for you all today. So, once you've got your paper sorted, you're going to need a few extra things like sellotape, a nice pair of sharp scissors that will easily cut through paper. You're going to need clips like these, and that will all become clear in a moment. You're most definitely going to need a pen or two for scoring lines and marking measurements. And the other thing you're going to need is a 30cm ruler if you have one. If you don't and you only have a 15cm ruler or a tape measure, they will still work, but of course it might take you a little bit longer to work out all the measurements. So, once you've got all those things, you'll be ready to start. So the first thing is first, get a piece of scrap paper and your ruler and a pen or pencil. And what you need to do is measure the sides of your box. What you need to do is measure the sides if you need to do them. And then you need to measure the top, the bottom, any hinge areas, I'll make that clear in a moment, and the inner section. Once you've done all that, cut them out very, very carefully and make sure that you label them so that you don't get any confused. For example, this is my one for the sides. This one I've labelled as the inner, so that's the one that's going to sit inside the box. And this is my piece for the top. Now, as you can see, I've managed to cut it so that it fits with the box. And what you're going to need to do is take the clips I was on about earlier, and when you're cutting this to size, make sure that you cut a square piece in the measurements first of all. Secure it in place like so, and then once it is in place, you'll be able to see where you need to cut. Once you've done that and you're happy with how it looks, then you'll be able to line it up and then use your sellotape to stick on. Now, the joy with this box is that any of these side pieces are going to disappear inside the box. So once it's all stuck into place, these side pieces will disappear like that, and it'll all be in place. That is the most trickiest part, is lining everything up and then sticking it down. So that's what we're going to do now. So once you've got all your pieces cut, labelled and ready to go, you'll need to make sure that you're putting certain ones on the box first of all, like the ones that are going to be tucked inside. So the first one that I want to begin with is my one for the side of the box. Now, I've already made an incision on this side, and that is because it's going to sit around the side of the box here. And what I did was I measured here, and what you need to do is make sure that you've got enough, and then it's just going to fold inside and fold underneath. It's a little bit tricky, but once you get the hang of it, you'll be fine. This is where the clips come in handy again. So that you can make sure that you have lined everything up correctly. And then once you're happy with the side, like I'm not happy with this one, it needs to move a few millimeters this way. Okay, once you're happy, clip it into place. And what you need to do is you should clip it all the way around first of all before you stick. So swap it around now to the front. Use your hand and flatten as you go. And then you should be able to see where I've cut here, and this is the part that's going to go just into the back. So we'll just clip that into place, and then I can show you what I mean. So these are the sides. Don't worry about any overhang. And then this piece will be stuck to the back, and then this piece will be stuck underneath, and you simply fold this as you would do when you do a present, when you have it flat. So fold in the corners. Take a small square of sellotape, and then as you'll see with that corner, it's really nice and neat. And don't worry if it isn't neat, because you would have cut a bottom piece, a base piece, that you're going to stick over the top of all this anyway. So follow the line around and do the same on this corner. And then the same for these sides. Do excuse the fact that I've got a terrible cold as well. You should be able to see this taking shape now. We need a small piece on this corner, and it's going to tuck on the inside like that. And then any pieces that you don't need, simply get your scissors and gently trim them off. Once you've cut them, make sure that you secure it. And that is your sides done. Make sure that all the sides are definitely secure before you move on. You only need a very small amount of tape, and then what you need to do is remove your clips. Now you will be left with a very slight overhang in most cases, and what you need to do is very gently tape it on the inside. It might look a little bit messy to begin with, but I promise you, by the time that you're finished, it will look amazing. does take a little bit of patience to get it started, but if you do the sides first, that will be the most difficult part. You can also jazz it up afterwards when you're finished with a variety of things like glitter glue or Christmas related items, stickers, sequins. They all work really, really well. Sometimes it's better to leave yourself with a little bit more overhang than I've done when I was trying to use the least amount of paper so that I could show you exactly where I was sticking things. And it doesn't help when your sellotape plays up either. Just one more piece on this corner part, because that is where one of the hinges is, and you need to make sure that that's nice and flat and level. And what you don't want to do is catch it when you're pulling presents in and out either. You wouldn't want to rip it after all that hard work. So there we have it. Those are the sides to our Christmas box. Now on to a really easy part, which is the inner. Here's the piece I cut earlier. And you just want to slot it in. And once inside, stick it to place. The next part will be the top. And as I said earlier, you start with a square, make sure that you've got enough angle on all sides, and then you want to stick it into place. The best thing to do if you have got a hinged side is to start on one side and make it flat, then move away across to the other side. So keep going with this. Stick it all down, make sure that it is all secure and in the right place. Once you've done this bit, you only really have the bottom piece to go. Don't worry if you make any air bubbles or any mistakes, because I will be showing you the things you can do to cover those up with later on, such as stickers, ribbon, snowflakes, that kind of thing. There it is so far. And now all we've got to do is secure the back part. The good thing with these hinge boxes is that you can move sections out of the way when you're working on them. Like I say, don't worry if it's looking a bit of a mess. It's so easy to sort out later on. Mistakes can be covered up by all sorts of things. I've managed to shut my cats out of the room while I'm doing this, but usually they would be all over me and making holes in the paper and such like. So if you end up having the same problem, please don't fret about it. We will be able to sort that out later on. Just put another fairly long piece down the side. And now you can see that we've got the top done. So to show you now, these side pieces disappear inside, and then our front flap disappears as well. It's already starting to look really, really good. And imagine if it had a giant bow on the top and a gift tag, and I'll show you some other bits that I've got that you can decorate as well. So now we've got our base part, which is this piece here. And I deliberately left a little bit of overhang so that I could see exactly what sort of size I was going to be cutting to. It's always better to have more than not enough. And as you can see, this piece is going to cover all the mess that we've got at the back, like so. It is a little bit too much, but what I will do is we will stick the first lot in place, which is from here to here, and then any overhang we will trim afterwards and then stick into place. And as you can see, we know that we've got plenty going this way as well. So always start where the line will end. And the best thing to do as well is line it up on one side, and then you're only trimming at one end. I'm not clever enough to make the patterns all line up. I'm not that good. But if you are very good at that kind of thing and about judging the measurements and things, then by all means, I would love to see what you guys can come up with. So, we will line that up. And very carefully stick into place. And like I said, I don't like seeing the sellotape, so we will be putting things like ribbon, bows and stickers around it. And then as you can see, that's not going to come off. And now we're going to secure the base part. And like I said, we've got a little bit of hang over there, but don't worry, we're going to trim that off shortly. So, before you stick the final little bit down at the bottom, what you need to do is figure out how much you need to cut off. And the best thing to do is to go along the side of the box. And remember to use very sharp scissors. If you're not an adult, then you will need an adult to help you do all the cutting. It is a little bit fiddly. But once you get going, you should be fine. And for some reason, I didn't cut this straight anyway. Meet it from the other end. So what we need to do now is stick these bits down. Using your hand, go flat down the back so that you don't get any air bubbles in it, and then secure it along the corners. Sometimes better to use a larger piece of tape. And remember, this is the base anyway, so if you make a slight bubble or a slight mistake, it's not going to be the end of the world. Gently fold over so it's nice and neat, and then you just want to do the same with the other sides. Put the majority of the tape on the base and gently just fold into the side, and then you're not going to get a huge amount of tape overhanging. Don't forget the edges and the corners. And then what you need to do is make sure that when you're taping the final sections onto the sides, that you don't tape onto this part. If you've got a hinge box, what we're going to do is put our tape on the edge, bring the tape over and tuck it on the inside like that. Now for the other side. Again, just a little bit of tape. Fold it over onto the inside. Don't forget about these other corners. I think my inner part is trying to escape. Once everything is completely secured and that you're sure that nothing is going to peel off in any corners, then you've finished your box. What do you think, guys? I'm really happy with it. I know it's a bit of a rush because I'm doing it for you for the video, but you'll be able to take a lot more time and care with it. Now, if you have any offcuts, like this one, you could make yourself some paper snowflakes. Isn't that adorable? Now, they're so easy to make. There's only a couple of steps to doing it. But what I will do is I will do a step-by-step guide underneath the blog post itself. So, and the blog post is going to be a step-by-step guide on how to do the box. Then underneath there's going to be a decorating guide and then a snowflake guide. And finally there will be a link to another post which will be all about things that you can put inside your boxes, because you might not want to use this for gifting presents. You might want to use it as a Christmas Eve box, in which case you can fill it with games and toys and activities and snacks and things that you can do as a family on Christmas Eve. You could put, so there's a family of 4, you could put 4 cozy socks in there, 4 little Christmassy related snacks. The possibilities for these are endless. So what I'm going to do is do a massive blog post on all the things that you could use them for, and then I would love to hear from you guys about what you actually use them for and whether you make your own Christmas boxes. That would be really, really interesting for me. So now you've got your finished box, and it could be any shape, size, colour that you want. Now you need to decide what you're going to do with it. Once you've decided that, you can decorate. If it's going to be a kid's box, then I suggest you use some stickers, and you could even do a piece of paper and write on it. So you could say Christmas Eve box, and then cover it in stickers. Remember the snowflake guide, so you could do several snowflakes and build them one on top of the other like decoupage, so they stick out nice and three-dimensional. If you're giving it as a gift, then a good idea would be a gift tag. So I had these from Primark, 20 gift tags for £1.50, which I thought was brilliant. They all come with string attached already, and to go on with my red theme. Something else that I picked up in Primark for £2 was 30 beautiful little baubles, and these are really nice if you're into decorating your house and things. These smaller ones, sometimes they're not great to go on a tree, especially if you have little ones or pets, because they could very easily be eaten. However, another thing that they are good for is decoration. So what I tend to do most years is have a vase in the middle of the table, and that's usually got baubles and things in it. But what you could do is have your bauble and your Christmas tag and your snowflake. And what would be really nice as well is if you had different wrapping paper and you did, say, 3 different boxes, say one was gold, one was red and one was green, then you take the gold snowflake trimmings and make them into snowflakes for the red box. You could use the red trimmings for the green box, and so on and so forth. Like I said earlier, the possibilities for these are endless. So you could decorate, you could have your several baubles hanging off the corners, you've got your snowflakes, you've got your tags, and you've got your stickers. So literally, guys, you could do anything with these boxes. And what I love is not just the versatility, but the fact that you can make it your own unique box. It's not every day that you can get crafty, and I know that so many of us are really busy with work and family and everything else. But if you have the time, and it's a really good thing for kids to get involved in as well, even if they don't do the boxes but they do the snowflakes, it's really, really easy, even though it's a little bit time consuming. But say you had a Sunday afternoon free and the weather was terrible and you can't go out and you've done all your Christmas shopping and you're not really sure what to do, make a Christmas box. Even if you say, I'm going to store all this year's Christmas cards in this box until next year. That's one way of looking at it. Like I said, you've got the Christmas Eve style box, or you've got the Christmas Day box where you could have toys or snacks or things inside, or people could take something out of it. So you could have everybody's name in the box, and then in the morning, the first person to draw their name out of the box gets to open the first present. How about that one? I love filling it with toys and games. I think that's a brilliant idea, and I will write on the blog a list of all the things that you could put in there. So there you have it, guys. I'm really happy with it. I hope you are too, and I'd love to know your thoughts and whether or not you're going to make one yourselves.